Welcome to the Shaddo Show.
Good evening. Welcome no one to the show about me just rambling into the darkness, into the cosmos. I don't know what I'm going to talk about tonight, to be honest. I'm going to talk about my day a little bit. I made some money today. Kicked my half over to the landlord. Sold my old tires off my truck that I totaled last year. And, just reflecting on all that bullshit. Where I was there, spiritually, mentally, physically, any kind of thing, any kind of way, right? The fucking wreck that I have been in for so long. I bought that truck 2019 at the end of my first divorce. It was my dream vehicle. So much happened during the course of that thing. I lost love, found love, lost my dad, I lost the love. I let that fucking darkness kind of consume everything. Searching for connection, right? Ended up getting out in contact with my old Marines, and we made a reunion. And it was really good. A couple years in, things got crazy. And then the people started coming less and less. Now the last one sucked for me. And it's really my fault. I've been such a wrecking ball, dude, since my dad croaked. And that whole thing was just exceptionally traumatic. It's like I got to watch him die. But then I couldn't even hold him, right? I myself became a coward. I couldn't even stand to be with him in his final hours and days. And I knew when he was passing. I stopped to get gas on the way there. When I got to that place where he died, saw his body, pale, withered away, I felt such rage, man. If only he would have listened to me, man. That was like 4.5 years ago. August, I've come to realize that all the trauma in my life. Well, at this point, I can't go about a couple weeks without having a date that puts me back somewhere. The day he died was February 1st. That's also my mom's birthday. I feel like that was his fuck you to her. And I commend him for that. The timing, the synchronicities, That was also my wedding anniversary to my second wife. It's also the month that I cheated on my first wife. Tossed all that away. I gave it all to them, right? Just gave her everything. I took nothing. She gave me $1 for the house that we had. And I called it quits after 9 years. The second one, I got dark after my dad croaked, and I didn't see her being emotionally honest and forthcoming and stuff, and drank a lot and definitely was an asshole. But I ended up breaking things off with her too, because I chose darkness over trusting another human being. And the timing and synchronicities, right? So like every year on Memorial Day for like the past several years, except for this past year and probably the future ones, but I was getting together with my Marines and we're having an amazing time, and there's such love and awesomeness in it. And it's just like, man, this darkness from my dad just kept fucking, literally put rain clouds over my head. At the last one, there was a fucking tornado that blew through there, and I feel entirely responsible for bringing that thing down, you know? It's just, timing of everything is just fucking terrible. But, you know, you gotta listen to the signs, you know, because they'll show up one way or another. But I digress, you know. My dad didn't leave a will. Everything had to go to probate, and this was during Corona. It took like a year and a half to go through that, and then 6 months after he died, I just broke it off with my ex-wife, my second one, and got myself in a DUI, second DUI, and you know, just kind of just kept shooting myself in the foot as much as possible. It's like there was even that night where I tried to start my fucking AR, and you know, I talked about it in a previous episode, but you know, something pulled it out of my mouth and pulled the trigger, and yeah, that was the night that I realized that no one showed up after that. Nothing. Nobody would have showed up or known I was there, dead, deceased. My dogs would have eaten my corpse. Right? That was like on a Friday night. Nobody. Next door neighbors didn't knock. Nobody. That didn't really help me feel any better either. Damn, dude. It's like all of that. But still, it took about a year after that. It's like I was busting my ass at work trying to support a house by myself, going through a nasty divorce. And she wanted my dogs. She just wanted to hurt me like I hurt her, and I totally get it. You know? But then, you know, out of nowhere, I just pulled the number out of my ass because I didn't want to lose this house like I gave it to my first one. I felt like such a fool for all that. And I built this stoicism and this machismo bullshit thing. And, well, yeah, it's just fucking synchronicities, man. You gotta learn to let it all go. You can't hold on to that negative bullshit because it will follow you forever if you do. You know? And just being with it like this isn't not carrying it all the time. Like this is, I literally 5 minutes before this, I don't know. I asked AI to make suggestions for this shit, and fucking ChatGPT want to talk about Gaza. I'm like, God, all right, no, okay, no, I don't give a fuck. You know, this is what comes to me. So I figured just talk about this darkness that, you know, that I know I'm not alone in, and I've seen it consume and take people away. Remember, 22 veterans a day, end it, and I would have been one of them a couple times. You know, after the first one, things got dark. The second one, it was just holy shit darkness. And yeah, getting in trouble didn't really stop me from doing the drinking either. You know, it's just like I really want to go down that path, and it's just the synchronicities of things. I told her I'd pay her $25K to keep the house, and we just ended amicably like that. And lawyers agreed upon it. I had to pay money to all that. And then literally my dad, the money I got from my dad, I essentially, I bought tires and a lift kit for my truck. I got a big TV and a new computer, which I'm on right now still. And then the rest of that went to her. I only got like 33 from my dad's estate. 1,000, right? And 25 grand cashier's check right over to her. And I fought to keep that fucking house. You know, that cursed fucking piece of shit built in 1972. Like, that place is fucking possessed, okay? That's where I met the Metatron on my mushroom trips, you know? That's, you know, my next door neighbor was, you know, the plug, right? So it's like accessibility, yada yada. It's all very, you know, I mean, if you knew the address and you took a look around, you would, that's interesting, right? But I digress. I was, you know, spirituality, making a connection with whatever that Metatron thing was, and then suffering like I have for a while, right? Just to see what would happen, you know? And then totaling the vehicle, being displaced from that, put into another location, and finding out about my family's history all the way back to fucking MK Ultra, fucking pre-World War II shit. It set me on a weird thing. So it's like, post World War II did, like, why do we take the Nazis in? The Jewish scientists. Yeah. What was that all about? What like, there's something bigger, obviously, right? And I feel like the Romans and the Jesuits, or whatever you want to call it, from 2,000 years ago, like, they had a pattern of behavior that was just super obvious to me once I sat on this for a while and I started going down these. It's not really conspiracy when it turns out to be true once they declassify things, but oh, and I'll just sorry to pump the brakes and jump around, but yeah. So I sold those tires today, and I managed to get me some CBD stuff, which they're trying to ban here in Texas. And I just want to say I'm feeling, you know, today I woke up and just felt like shit. Turns out flooding and people dying on the other side of the planet, and just I'm hearing them ring all day, right? And then I was able to sell these tires, and now I got some medicine, some CBD, THCA. Holy shit, you know, bought legally. And I mean, you can compare this to other videos. I'm much more, this is, I guess, human, right? I can be robotic and talk about weird shit, and then I do a little of this, and all of a sudden I can connect now to this physical being here, and just be in touch with my history, you know? But, yeah, fall back over to the other shit. But there's pattern that exists, right? I did say what you will, but, you know, like back in the Roman days, you know, Boy Love Thursday was a fucking thing, right? Hurting kids was a thing. And King Moloch, right? You know, I haven't really dug into all these religions here, but like there's like that pattern of hurting children and you know, sacrificing them. And okay, just keep those two things there, right? Intentional or otherwise, it's the act. Okay? And all these conflicts that we've been having, guys, since fucking Vietnam, right? Like, it's like the act is still there. And now they just have us convinced that serving the nation is, you know, the best thing to do. But all we're doing is fighting other people on the same planet. And it's like, I feel like whatever is feeding off of that shit, like, I mean, we can call it the devil, right? What is that? You know, what are we actually doing? Yeah, I'm just, man, yeah, watching my dad croak really kind of put a lot of things in perspective. And where he died, like physically, exactly right, the spot where he died is the same spot where I was trying to do homework on the computer in his bedroom, and he came in, and I was trying to do something like snatch the mouse away from me, and I grabbed it back, and then he just cocked back and just decked me right in the face. And I'm not gonna lie, that he hit my on switch, and all the trauma and bullshit that my mom put me through, and that he had put me through over the years, and that I had just been holding on to, just came out, and I blacked out. And he ended up through the wall, and yep. And as soon as I realized what I was doing, I fucking panicked and just took off and hid. And he was gonna kill me, he said, later on. He told me in his later years, right? He told me he was literally gonna go kill me. Then my stepmom called the 5-0, and because he had marks and I didn't, I got to go to juvie for a few hours. You know, then my dad dropped charges, came over to pick me up. That incident fucked me up, because shortly after, it was like Christmas time and stuff. And if you watch my first episode when I talk about these things, I didn't know then, and it explains absolutely everything once I learned it, but my uncle got ran over on Christmas Eve. And yeah, no fucking shit. god damn, like that. I felt like every time Christmas came around was painful, especially after my dad tried to kill my mom, right? Broke her jaw, yeah, because she instigates shit. You know, she's fucking bipolar, clearance holding fucking weasel, right? Manipulator. Talking about child sacrifice and hurting kids. All right, that woman put hands on me in a bad way, and used to make me do fucking shit, punishment all the time, man. It was terrible. Go to school, get my ass bullied all the time. Yeah, no fucking wonder. It's a miracle I got C's, you know? Fuck. I went to 3 different high schools across 2 different states. I didn't fucking know anybody. I was never able to ever put roots down, and that's been my whole life. It's even like when I got out the Marine Corps after fucking Afghanistan, that suicide bomber and shit, I was shook after that, right? Put on a whole bunch of weight before I got out. And it didn't stop there. I blew up to like 310 pounds, you know? Drinking, eating, everything. And one of the things, the 2 things got me to feel love again, like just that emotional vulnerability, emotional expression, break the stoicism. I wasn't even stoic. I was still fucking miserable all the time, just a douche all the time. Didn't want to go out, crowds, couldn't fucking sit still can't. Yeah, I can work crowds pretty good, but 2 things that got me out of that shit was Dixie, okay? And that's why I want to do Devil Dog Daycare. And my first property up in Nevada, it's going to be Dixie's Retreat. But Dixie, you know, my first wife found her and another pup in the parking lot of AutoZone over here off Military and Goliad. She was like eating a dead bird. And she's a fucking she's a weird beast, you know? She was a weird fucking beast. I need to go get you guys a picture of fucking Dixie here. Because this is that dog. The second I saw her, I tell you, it melted my fucking heart seeing that dog. Oh, let's see if I can find her. I got a ton of Dixie stuff. I wish I could just type in Dixie in my search thing and find it. Oop, let's see. Let's go back. Oh, my sweet Dixie. She was such a sweet baby girl. I love her. So, that's Luna, right? Luna. She's still over here. This is her. I got her. My ex brought her home like a couple weeks after my dad died. She found her on her route. All my dogs came to me magically. And Dixie, this chunk of monk, this turd burglar, dumpster diver, this one, with her odd, she had like a short torso that was like a trunk and little short legs. And she had the sweetest eyes in the world. The best. She was, oh my god, guys. Anyone who met Dixie knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. If you were lucky to be graced in the presence of this beast, you became blessed, okay? Now, I guess while we're here, I might as well talk about all my dog's origin stories. Dixie, my wife brought her home and she just melted my heart. And Sweetie ended up having to live with my dad for some time. I was there with him until our relationship got too strained, and then he was in the hospital right away, pretty much. It was bad. But the next door neighbor, who was HR for the Army, she's a captain, you know, like I said, conspiracy, whatever, but she had 2 dogs. One of them was Gary, which kind of looked like Dixie, but it was a dude. And then she had this little puppy, and Sweetie was a little tiny puppy. And the second that I saw her through the fence out there smoking, she was so fucking high energy. She had to go over and see me. And over the course of like 2 months, she chewed through the fucking fence 3 times to get over to hang out with us. And then I was just going out to take out the trash one day, and her owner, she's like, "Do you know anyone that wants this fucking dog?" Because she had a 3-year-old, and Sweetie was bing, bing, bong, bing, bong, you know, and knocked over the kid a bunch. But I was like, yeah. And my dad was, you know, when you look at alcoholics and when they start going down, the kidneys and liver going down, all right, that's late stage, okay? Mental slips, okay? My dad kicked her out for no reason. Like, it's just like the demonic possession. And that's what alcohol really is, okay? When they talk about spirits, they're not talking about elevating your frequency to a higher power. No, they're lowering your frequency to something that's lower. And that's just, you know, we talk about EKGs. I've talked about them before. It changes your brain waves. But anyways, Sweetie, it was instantly part of the team. And she was super hyper. She broke Dixie out of her little funk, you know, because I had a bunch more dogs with my first wife, but I made sure I took Dixie and she kept the other ones, and Tater and Grizzy, and they all had, you know, all my dogs. I love dogs, okay? They're the best people on the planet, 100%. And we got Luna, okay? And Luna was a little tiny puppy, but then she got fucking huge, and you could tell they're all kind of pits-ish, you know? Like, Luna's like a black pit. You know, not only is she a black dog, she's a goddamn digger. She digs holes all the time. When I moved over here with my grandma, she dug underneath the shed and got stuck in the rain. And I'm not gonna lie, she's dark as night, guys. Okay, I trip over her all the time. She'll go outside and just go sit there and wait for me to go back inside and then act surprised when she gets forgotten. Okay? All right? She did it to her own goddamn self. I can relate. I've done dumb shit to myself. But she sat under that fucking thing for like 3 hours before I realized where the fuck is Luna. Because my bed's black. Everything I have is black. Black desk, you know, whatever. And yeah, then I had to go dig her out with a fucking shovel in the mud like fucking Shawshank Redemption. God damn. And Dixie passed away last year. Now, she ended up developing some mast cell tumors all over her body. I met a beautiful woman, had a couple awesome kids, did the stepfather thing for a while. And she reached out to me in a very dark time. And these dogs, I love the pit breed because they vibrate with what you got. And yeah, they understood how much I appreciated someone positive coming into my life. But the trust issues never went away because I didn't stop drinking, right? But she brought us a toy, and these two were playing over it, and then Dixie, almost as soon as Luna came around, Sweetie was like the playful pup, and Luna was the playful pup, and they started going at it. But Dixie took on the matron role. Look who's we're talking about her, and she's like, I have to come say hello, so they know I'm still here. Oh, Sweetie. Yes, Sweetie. Oh, my Lord. Don't you eat the pizza? Yes, I have a pizza. Don't eat it, okay? You can sniff, but do not take it. But these two were playing over this toy that was given, and Dixie always took on like an authoritarian, like the mama bear. You know, she was a mama bear. But these other two just had fucking snapped on her and tore her apart for like, you know, solid 5 minutes before I heard the ruckus going on in the backyard, and I was taking a shit. It's like right when I got home from work, I just let him outside, right? And yeah, they fucked her up really bad, tore her neck open and stuff like that. Cost me like $4,000 to get her fixed, get it repaired. See Diva, her little face popping in there. But she died last year, right? I went to work at a local security joint, gas station, armed security thing, and she died as soon as I went to work. But she ended up getting really big mast cell tumors, and went spread all over her body. Yeah. But, you know, buried her, made her a little monument, you know, flowers and stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna name that fucking retreat, you know, because here's my plan with Devil Dog Daycare. All right, I have the domain. I need to put the website together. It's just, you know, I gotta find a rhythm in where I am right now, and this is, whenever I focus, like I want to rescue pups and vets, and I want to have multiple properties all around the U.S. I want to hook up with other people that have land. And this is just genuine, no bullshit, no indoctrination into nonsense. No, I just want to have I want to have a network of properties throughout the U.S. in remote locations where vets in crisis, when they cry for help or they ask for help, that there is something fucking there. Something that can actually give them some peace, And I've self-taught on my recovery for all things. Yeah, I got 10 acres, and I want to have like maybe 10 little fucking pop-up air-conditioned, solar-powered, off-grid, buildings there, like 3-room buildings. And, I want to have a fuck ton of dogs. I want to rescue pits. I want to rescue, we can take old service dogs, I want to take them all, right? And if I can subsidize the cost of dog food, right? Get be able to afford a vet to come out and do checkups every once in a while, like simple shit like that. But essentially, I want to have a place where we can grow gardens, right? We can have an airsoft field, and because PTSD, guys, right? Those of us that have seen combat, been in there, that it fucked with you, right? The best things that you could do is exposure therapy and conquering that fear. And it's just fun. Everyone's like, paintball. No. Paintball's nasty, messy. All right, that's gross. All right, you ever play on a paintball field after it's been used for 5 years and you hit the wall and you're like a fly on fly trap? It's nasty. Airsoft is fun, and it fucking hurts, and it's a lot more tactical. And yeah, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And I think it would be, have a farm and have this area out there where the dogs can go out and play. Like my property in Nevada, it's nothing. Dude, it's one of the lowest population areas in all of the United States. Elko County is ginormous. It has like 50,000 people in the whole thing, and it's low pop, ultra low pop. Because exposure to stress and all that shit, anxiety, blah blah blah, spidey sense tingling all the time. Like, yeah, no shit. You're picking up on other people's energies, and sometimes you just need to detox, get clean, breathe. No obligation, no costs, right? I want to have the ability to because dude, there's a huge network out there of veterans, okay, that really do want to work on reducing that 22 a month, 22 a day. My bad, It's like if we gotta fucking talk about 9/11 every goddamn year, dude, fuck that. Let's take care of the fucking people that believed enough in a higher power to serve something bigger than themselves. Because we don't value that so much. We value the indoctrination of it. Just don't question anything. But if you truly value it, let them have peace. You know how hard I've had to fight for peace, and you know what the most peace I've had all day in past several months is now in just little CBD, THCA. God, man, this is like they get everyone up in a tizzy. And they just they're really gonna try and do some stupid shit, guys. Whatever this bullshit is with Texas, civil arrest warrants. What the fuck does that even mean? Obviously, it's not what the fuck, civil arrest warrant? That makes no fucking sense, guys. And the bullshit's up. Both sides are fucking burning out at both ends. The shit's grinding to a halt. They don't know what to do, all right? Because the money machine's not going to work like it used to no more, especially with AI. I mean, most people don't want to accept that. Dude, I can articulate how any job can be replaced by AI. I mean, I did it to myself, okay? I was like for a company called Computer Solutions. I was I was an asshole on their team. I was a stick in the mud. All right, I'm grateful for the time they gave me for the length that they did, and you know what, whatever, dudes. Okay. But there's like a cool tool I found that would let us deploy computers for all our clients, and in a very easy way whenever they bought something new and needed something replaced. And I set that up, and and then after that, I needed outside. Inside all the time, I went outside and just walked around. I'd work my tickets and go walk around. I just dropped my pack. Quiet quit, if you would. But man, just such a pendejo. Lo siento. But yeah, AI totally, it's a sweet thing, guys. And it's gonna happen regardless, right? But they're like, oh, worker productivity is gonna go up. It's like, well, you don't need workers anymore, guys. And the fact that they're not speaking to what comes after this is kind of troubling, because you can automate the drivers, you can automate logistics, you can automate manufacturing. People are going to be freed up from this, right? Does everyone get like issued a robot, right? Because we can do that. If everyone can get a fucking cell phone, see, the thing about AT&T is that you're essentially buying into being spied on, right? And same with all these free websites that are out there. Your end user license agreements and terms and conditions, whatever bullshit that you sign up for on a website, you're essentially given free access to your information. And well, now, these eyes are on everything. You can't even take the battery out of your phone. Okay, so, we need to talk about universal basic income, right? And we gotta put that out there. Okay, I'm not saying, they keep increasing the value or devaluing the dollar, so it goes less and less and less, but there's more and more and more of it. And people are working harder and harder and harder and getting not as far as they could 30, 40 years ago. And I'm going to eat because pizza's getting cold. There is no reason why we can't automate the fuck out of everything. We can just be honest, right? We print the money, guys. No gold standard anymore. So we print the money. We can tax the wealth. Right? I mean, I have legislation that I'd like to introduce into Congress called the No Rats. All right? And I have a whole thing about it. But essentially, we can reclaim this shit. All right? It needs to be put to the use of the people, all right, not the few, because you're stealing ideas from everyone else at this point, right? That's what all this data collection is. So if you write down a good idea that you have on a piece of paper, or you put it on Google Notes or something like that, it's already up there in a cloud. They're already tracing everything. So it's not even for watching out for terrorists, all right? Because obviously Uvalde happened, right? Right? Okay. And then, see, there's been 2 quadruple homicides in the past couple of weeks here in the U.S., right? They had that Tennessee guy that got caught today. And then there was another dude up in Montana that killed a bunch of people in a bar and fucked off, and they still haven't found him, all right? Like, all these things happen, and they're not watching out for you guys, okay? Because, it took them about a week and a half to find this guy down in Tennessee. And now this other dude's still on the run for, I think, 3 or 4 days now. Okay, so the spying isn't, what are they taking from you? All right. And this is why good ideas, any genuine good idea is already capitalized upon. And the system is absolutely rigged now. If you guys can't do the math on this, I'm sorry. And, well, that's not cool, guys. It's supposed to be liberty for all. All right. And if they say in God we trust, all right. And if I could channel the Christ consciousness in here right now, well, what the fuck you waiting on? All right. Universal basic incomes to step it down, because just like you taught humanity to work its ass off, all right, it seems like you guys were dropping the ball for a few, 1,000, 1,500 years, and then all of a sudden, you know, all right, and then the past 100 years, like, where things are, we're almost there, but now we're at the point where it's just like, dude, just come on, universal basic income. We can start taking care of the earth, not just taking care of the earth, but be honest about it. All right, type 1 civilization mentality. Okay, let's start with controlling all the energy that we can on this planet. Make that the priority. And you don't need to have people stressed out killing each other over fucking bullshit. Okay, let them have their weed, do their mushrooms. Like, these are the off switches for the MK Ultra program that I'm assuming that my great grandpa helped implement here. Okay, stop drinking alcohol, guys. I'm sober from alcohol now for 3 months. Maybe 2 months. I don't know. I'm not really keeping track, but it's been a while. And feeling better. All right. Still, it is a depressant, right? So when you drink heavily like I did, like, it'll bring you down really hard. And well, it takes a while for you to equalize, And this pizza tonight, I'm still one meal a day. I haven't worked out seriously in like 2 years, and I was down 175 at my low this last time around, and I'm gonna get back to that because I'm just going off Marine Corps height and weight standards. But yeah, I mean, I'm down 4 pounds this week, so I'll just will it into existence, guys, just like you guys can too. Just like we can will in not having to fucking work and be obligated and tax out the butthole for fucking everything. We can fix it real easy with the universal basic income. And if the wealthy want to keep their heads on their shoulders, like, that's the best idea for everybody, right? Like, eventually the shit boils over. I mean, look at the French, okay? Like, those people know how to fucking party over there. God bless. What happened to America, dude? Are y'all cucked or what? It's just wild. Universal basic income. Boom. Like BAH. What does it actually cost to live in the area that you're in? And if everybody moves to a rich location, well, there's like availability issues, right? So that's why BlackRock, I guess, owns everything, right? Stupid, right? Texas has like 5 cities, right? It's mostly nothing. Take the 10 either direction out of San Antonio. It's a lot of nothing out there. I will say that Houston is a big sprawl, but it's like you go north of Houston, it's fucking beautiful, forested and shit. It's like that's the healthy side of Texas, right? Then the west is all oil fields and gross. Like, what if in those? Man, oil is weird. I really feel like it's someone sending their poop and shit back in time because they ran out of space. Like, that's what it genuinely feels like. And it's whatever. But yeah, there's absolutely nothing out there. And I'm sure once we stop drilling the shit out of the fields like that, and because they got to burn excess gas, so they're really just like, if you go out there and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, as far as the eye can see, a bunch of little, I'm growing up in Southern California. They're drilling oil off the coast over there, and same thing. Yeah, you'd see those little fires out in the middle of the night. It was really cool. I'm sure a lot of people confuse that shit for UFOs, but who knows what else is down there? That's all algae and shit. How do they find it under the water? Like, how do they do that? Right? And it's like a never-ending supply. Trillions of barrels. And everyone's like, oh, it'll never run out. Like, are we just in a time loop here? Is that what it is? Is that what we talk about, cycles? Advanced alien tech, millions of years beyond us. In the past 100 years, lasers and microwaves, all that shit. Million years, right? What are you doing then? Well, you're absolutely manipulating time and shit. Maybe we found some cheat codes, right? Anyone that's ever played games on PC that uses admin or scripts, you know what I'm talking about. It's weird. Hmm. But universal basic income. Yeah, mandatory 4-year military service. All right. It doesn't have to be fucking going. We don't need combat for one, right? But we need roads repaired. We need people in hospitals. We need to make healthcare available for everybody. So, you know, we gotta we gotta start doing human things. Do you really want AI? AI can diagnose things pretty well, right? CRISPR, all right, gene editing, all right. We can cure cancer. I wouldn't say cure Down syndrome. I mean, I've worked with special needs people like that, and dude, they're awesome people, right? They're genuinely awesome, happy people, unless they get fucking pissed off. And God, I've seen the most horrible treatment of those people here in Texas. At East Central High School, there's a dude that was like that kind of aggressive autismo or whatever the hell we had. I don't know, but they made him wear a helmet, and then normal fucking these Edgars, dude, they would go around and like harass these kids, and they had their own little special building, that was away from everyone else, but you would see these shitheads go over there and instigate shit with them. And like I once saw the guy with the helmet lose his shit and beat the fuck out of the kid that was fucking with him, the normal kid that was fucking with him. And they had campus cops there, and the kid got put on the ground hard and handcuffed behind his back. And I felt that was like a really terrible fucking thing to witness, because like I just felt so much for the guy for the special needs kid. It's like I couldn't believe it. That was just so cruel. And that guy, it's like the cop lacks that empathy to understand how to handle that. And handcuffing special needs behind their back, like they're gonna react and they're probably gonna dislocate their wrists, dude. Like these, but it's just there's this whole heartlessness about these things here in the state that I can't stomach anymore. And they're trying to ban this thing that just, fucking there goes my headache. Now my body, my joints are feeling better. Like I'm having good emotional thoughts, right? Being able to be with me, and like, wow. And they want to take that away, even in the most middle school way, right? Any fucking way that they can make you feel fucking shittier here, And at the end of the day, dude, there's still product that's going to be showing up here, all right? The black market for fucking everything: cocaine, fentanyl, meth, PCP, whatever the fucking retarded shit that people want. All the pills. Or don't even get me talking on this fucking prescription bullshit. Alright? It's all Nazi science, okay? These people have been fucking with you guys for fucking generations, and whatever they're doing, it's over. It's done. It's gonna fail. It's done. Okay? That's just the end of that. Right, girls? God, I love those dogs. It's just wild. Yeah, that feels, it's like, it's not lying to myself. It's like I know my situation ain't the best in the world, but you don't need to quantify fucking everything, guys. No good, better, bad, worse. Try not to quantify things, qualify things, validate anything, right? Just be present with it. Like I'm able to be present with my thoughts right now. Sunny D. Hot damn. That's some good Sunny D. Yeah, I think we're all in our own ways experiencing the same things. Right? Just, man, those people that can't see what I'm talking about, are the exact things standing in the way of making it happen, letting it happen. Because at the end of the day, you just need to let good things happen like this. You know? It's not about the violence, guys. They're really just trimming, culling things, you know? Shaping things, changing outcomes. It's manipulation. It's not honest. It's not genuine. That's bad for the whole species. Alright? Because if we can't even trust each other, what you gonna do? You're never gonna meet anything else out there, you know? Again, UAPs, UFOs, aliens, yada yada. But how do we go beyond that? How can we possibly, like, we gotta do this, we gotta pivot as a people. And we have to do this, like, as soon as possible. Because AI is happening regardless. And if you let the wealthy keep doing their things, they're gonna be, it's just their money without a workforce. And then fuck all y'all, you know? This has to happen. It's like I've experienced absolute loss of everything here. Like I could be the demo, all right? I'm the freeware version. I got early release access to what's in store for you guys. Because if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will. And once you know what I'm talking, like you'll know the truth when you hear it. All right? We need to start taking care of each other. We need to stop believing the Kool-Aid they give you. You know. There was no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Yeah, when it comes to light that the White House has been actively conspiring against its own citizens, guys, and this isn't just like a Trump or, dude, you can trace it back, okay? Bush Sr. was in the CIA when JFK got popped, and that shit happened in Texas, all right? Junior, and it's always the juniors, guys. If you haven't realized it, every time the apple falls, it rolls a little bit further down the hill. Okay? Trump's uncle, right? Spearheaded American military-industrial complex. Trump Jr. bankrupts casinos and kind of looks like he's a kid diddler, right? You know? It's kind of looking like that. It's always like the Republican side of things, and it's like, come on, guys. Every president leaves a folder for the next one. Okay, the Clintons are just as interesting as the Bushes. Talking about where is it, Hildeberg or whatever it's called in Germany, you know, Mason, Illuminati bullshit, whatever nonsense. But guys, there's a distinct pattern here. It's bipartisan. And whatever it is, like, it needs to be open. We need to pursue this. We need to understand it. People of color will, you know, come on, guys. It's all Southern shit. And they still like their Confederate flag shit. Look at north of Houston. It's the whitest fucking place in the world, man. They pretty much, you know, Texas language before, like, when the people that settled here, the white man, right? German was the most spoken language. Okay, we also had our own eugenics program, same time as Hitler. We took one of the bad guys from the SS and we made him, you know, one of those Nazi scientists, and we gave him NASA. Okay. 1565 Nuremberg event. All right. My dad's first apartment was given to him by the Hells Angels. I grew up, my grandma's house was a block away from the Hells Angels. She worked for the Archdiocese of Los Angeles at a convent, and that's how she was able to get a pension and retire. The Nazis were shuffled around from the Vatican. The new Pope he went to Villanova. I saw a fiddler on the roof there. What's going on? You know? that when I went and saw Fiddler on the Roof, that was a week after I was doing flag football for Holy Cross, which was at the Mission San Buenaventura. And we had a practice, and they squared me up against a 250-pound lineman as a sixth grader. That dude crushed my hand. I broke 3 bones. My dad and the coach both told me to walk it off. And then a week later, we're at this watching Fiddler at the Roof on Villanova, and yeah, one of the chaperones was a nurse, and she saw my hand was swollen and purple. And I had like in that week, I had learned how to write left-handed, right? Had taught myself that. She's like, "Oh, hon, your shit's broken," and we went to the doctor, and lo and behold, 3 fucking fractures. You know, fucking, right there in the thumb. Yeah, and Bubba fucking crushed my shit. I was crying like a bitch, and coach and my dad just told me to walk it off. God damn it, you fucking dicks. Terrible fucking parents, right? It's almost like they specifically they did not like me, you know? These people that have a close connection to the Catholic Church, right? My dad was never Catholic, though. He's a pretty faithless guy, and he was shook to his core after all the shit that his family had gone through, you know? But all these synchronicities, man, it's just so much. It's wild. It is wild. What am I? Am I Christ? Got to kind of lose weight and get the sunken cheeks, right? Because, you know, when I get down to 175, I look different. There is a lot of fat on this grape, and one of these days, you know, I'm just going to fucking take my AR, and I'm just going to, like, shoot this fucking bulge off. You know, I tried to cut this thing off. I tried to do it myself. Oh, man, all the bumps are getting bigger. That's not good. But I tried to cut it off, right? And have my girlfriend try doing it with, like, we got like a scalpel from Rite Aid or CVS or whatever. And like, as soon as she cut into it, like, I got, it was shock, right? Like actual shock, and my stomach started hurting, and like I was gonna yeet. So then we went to urgent care, and they laughed at me, and they weren't gonna help me, so I just left. You know, no job, no money, losing the house. Dark time all around. It's like that bitch was helping me fucking tank it. Oh yeah, do all this stupid shit. Yeah, dude. God damn it, man. That was the last time. I don't think I'm ever gonna be in another relationship again. Like ever. Like Elko, Nevada. As it so happens, where Dixie's daycare is gonna be, it's one of the 2 counties with legal brothels. So, you know, Dixie's retreat. Get your Dixie sucked. But, yeah. This is like, you know, this is my life that I'm living here. And being able to look at things in a better light after a couple puffs of something, if that is such a threat to all this fucking thing, what the fuck do you stand on, man? It's because they feed on the fear, they feed on the pain. It's like that sacrificial, it's like the vibration of pain that something feeds off of. And it's something more nourishing than fucking happiness. And that, to me, would be the literal darkness versus the light shit. Maybe it's the upside down, guys, but, you know, the world's getting weird, you know? And all we gotta do is start being chill with each other, and then the whole planet cools off. I gotta get there. So, I am definitely, you know, so I got money coming in from the state, you know. Don't know where it came from, but it's about $3K, and I am going to get myself a main pack. I'm going to fly my Marine Corps flag, and I'm going to hump it. I'm going to hump it from San Antonio all the way to Elko, Nevada. I've clocked it out. It is like 26 days, 27 days of walking, right? So doing 8 hours a day, 3 mile pace, 3 mile an hour pace, maybe. I think I get 24 miles in a single go. I'm 38. Haven't really worked out for shit in the past couple of years. But, you know, this ain't my first time doing it. You know, I've losing weight on a treadmill. I definitely have put down thousands of miles. In the Marine Corps, we fucking humped it. We fucking ran all the goddamn time. I hated that shit. All right, especially when I was about to get out, and my fat ass was just like, "Fuck this, I'm walking." I dropped my pack. I just got fuck all this, man. It's all about Halliburton contracts, guys. They don't give a fuck about you, and they're just like, "Send for $5." God bless Marines, man. All right, everyone is Marines are devil dogs. All right, God lived, and they're not evil. Okay, we are capable of possessing demons because of the amount of alcohol we drink. Okay, and the rigors we put our body through. But Marines are the best fucking people. Hearts of steel, hearts of gold. Right? There's some assholes, right? 100%. And not everyone's gonna agree on everything. But you know, we really fucking hate it when you fuck with our liberty, right, guys? Those that I served with, remember when they had us plucking fucking yellow flowers out of the hillside because the colonel didn't like it? What the fuck was that shit, Frazier? I think some other shit happened. Someone lost something, missed a count at the armory or some shit. But, you know, no one's perfect, okay? You can forgive everything, right? We need to start doing that with the debts. We can start healing people, bringing the place together, right? We could do it voluntarily. Just gotta let go of whatever the hell this whole fucking thing has become, because it's untenable. All right. And I love the vocabulary. You know, as I was, because I don't have a vehicle. I wrecked my bike and hurt my fucking shit. But when I was walking to the vape shop to get this stuff, right? I was like, man, I am blessed with vocabulary. The English language has so many words in order to, like, you can articulate very complex things, you know, with such finite detail that you can actually share that with other people in a way. As long as they have a vocabulary as well, they can. It's like higher level frequencies, right? This is why they're defunding the Department of Education, and they don't want you guys questioning anything right now, right? Everything is very noisy, and it's all because I'm pretty sure they tried to kill me, you know, the day before Trump got elected, and it didn't work out so well because I'm still here. And maybe this time I'm not going to go away like it did that time, right? If we're channeling the Christ consciousness, let's see. Jesus has been here walking with you guys. You know, he chose this vessel because of who exactly I was going to become, right? What is it? Synchronicities and shit. I don't care if it sounds crazy, but you know, I'm still here and I'm still talking to whatever this is, and I feel like everyone should be allowed to be happy, right? Shouldn't have to put yourself in situations that compromise your morals, your integrity, right? Shouldn't have to hurt kids, right? The war in Iraq, 500,000 civilians, right? A lot of those were kids, man, right? Lots of evidence of child sacrifice, and you're doing it out of country, right? I don't know. How about, like, look at the act, right? Forget the emotional, the whatever the thing is of what puts you there to begin with. It's just the physical act of it. You know, what's occurring? Okay, I understand self-preservation, right? But this isn't talking about like the emotional reaction to things. This is just the whole situation. Like, take a step back. They have somehow convinced you to be in that place and time. And the other guy, they have convinced him to be there in that place and time. And they're just watching you guys go at it. Look at the war in Ukraine. It's wild shit. I don't know. Start with the basic income. Start with national service. Universal health care. Okay. Make sure everyone's got a shelter. Legalize all the things so you can regulate it. We can make peace with the cartels, right? Because they're already operating in all 50 states. Oh, Nazis! They all went down south and then follow the meth. Trump Jr., right? Eric Trump, right? That guy's, you know, whatever their shit is. I tried that once and it didn't do a goddamn thing for me. I talk a little faster, but But, you know, people, experiment, do whatever you want, right? We got to have the spirit of life. We have to do the things that we want, because if everything's an obligation, that's not free will. And just because it's been generations of obligation, you got to catch yourself, guys. We need to have that conversation about freedom and liberty. Yeah, it's not scary. But when CIA works for the policymakers, and the policymakers are all bought and paid for, and it's just money controlling the whole thing, well, let's do the right thing with the money. Do right by the people. I mean, come on, guys. We gotta want to go. We're not gonna use fucking gas propellants to go anywhere in this fucking place. All right. We have the tech. Lockheed's got it, right? They've seen what's been following me around my whole life. That's the thing about a radar operator, you know. I can tell when something's being tracked. And there's ways you could test that it's not like a faulty panel, right? You can verify it's not a faulty panel, and you are absolutely capturing something that's occurring near you that's not visible. That's there. That gives a cross section. 1947, you know, Doppler radar brought them down. Okay, cool. Maybe Atlas 3I is a fucking mothership. Maybe things are about to get real fucking nasty around here. If it is whatever I saw in that place that I went, you know, the beings of light touched me and shit, that whatever that big thing was, it was huge, guys. Like, it was ginormous. I want to say, I never looked at it, but you know, when you hear something walking around you, like you could feel its presence. Like, I felt the energy. Like, I can tell when someone has their hand near me. I could feel that heat on the back of my, like, I felt it come. Like, it was something. It didn't give off light, but like, as soon as it got near me, and I just felt like, and then I got tossed right back here and I woke up. It was large. 14 feet. It was huge. But I felt the presence of it. It was fucking wild. And if that's what's up there and coming down here, guys, if we are about to have a conflict, you know, if Project Bluebeam wasn't a joke, like, it's literally what's gonna happen, dude. And man, what's going on, right? I mean, it's a great time for just honesty and transparency for everyone, because this is all getting fucking ridiculous. It's stupid. The money's about to be able to fucking just mass depop everything, and only the most brainwashed and loyal to the dollar people are fucking sticking around. And like, it's nasty, you know. What about all the people that just want to have peaceful fucking happy lives, you know? Why is everything gonna be so ridiculous out there, so evil, so nasty? Like, man, they just won't let peace happen. We got to do it national service, guys. Everyone should be trained, small arms, you know, military, kind of like, because if shit hits the fan in a peaceful world, if we are under threat, we have every right to defend ourselves, and we have to be made aware of all possible threats out there, you know. So if UAP's out there, you know, MK Ultra is mind control, right, exploiting people and their fucking vibrations, you know, the origins of life, you know, we have to know the answers to everything, right? Because it's for everyone's best interest. Because there's always a bigger fish, and something may just have us pitted against each other, and it wants to see us die. But why would it let us grow to such numbers? So we're either doing something right or we're doing something wrong, or it's like a crop being raised to be harvested, right? I don't know, guys. What's happening? Why don't they talk about these crazy things? I don't know. But, you know, if you're watching this show, which you're probably not, thank you, guys. And this one's going to be short tonight, and I'll just leave it on that note. And thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.